The galaxy watched humans with a mixture of fear, curiosity, and respect. The rogue fleet's failure had sent ripples across alien civilizations. Ambassador Thaler, still aboard his cruiser Varric Sentinel, was now part of an official delegation sent to observe humans directly. This was sanctioned diplomacy, meant to ensure humans' actions were understood and respected, but not challenged. The Zarathi delegation landed on Corrales Prime, a human world of shining cities, sprawling training grounds, and advanced technology. Ambassador Thaler stepped out of his shuttle, his scales flickering nervously under the twin suns. He had studied humans for decades, but nothing in his reports had prepared him for this. Humans were ordinary. Children ran along streets, engineers worked on complex machinery, and traders moved goods across the city. Yet beneath this ordinary surface lay the heart of something extraordinary, a civilization capable of brilliance in peace and madness in war. Captain Rena Hale greeted the delegation. She was tall, composed, and radiated calm confidence. "Welcome to Corrales Prime," she said. "You will see humans as they truly are. But remember, what you see here is only a fraction of what we can do." Thaler bowed. "We come in peace and with respect. But we wish to observe your methods. The galaxy must understand humans." Hale smiled faintly. "Then observe and learn." The delegation was taken to a training facility where human soldiers prepared for simulated battles. Thaler's eyes widened as he watched the soldiers move. They were disciplined, precise, yet their formations were unpredictable. They did not simply follow standard drills. They improvised, adapted to every challenge, and turned every small obstacle into an advantage. A young Lieutenant Aaron Voss demonstrated by leading a team through an obstacle course filled with traps, moving drones, and holographic enemies. In seconds, she had navigated the entire course, neutralized threats, and reached the objective. "How do they move so fast and yet think so clearly?" Thaler whispered to Jiriak. "They combine training with instinct," Jiriak replied. "But instinct guided by intelligence. That is why humans are unpredictable." Next, the delegation witnessed human engineering. Corrales Prime was protected not just by fleets but by automated systems, hidden turrets, and intelligent drones. The humans demonstrated by sending an enemy simulation fleet toward the planet. The aliens expected lasers and explosions. Instead, humans let the fleet approach, then disrupted their systems using electromagnetic pulses, cloaking devices, and clever maneuvers. Thaler watched in astonishment. The humans were not merely defending, they were playing a game, turning the battle into a lesson in strategy. The simulated enemy was incapacitated, unable to retreat or communicate, all without a single human ship being harmed. "They do not fight like the others," Thaler said. "They do not rely on brute force alone. They think, they anticipate. They manipulate." Hale turned to him. "We fight smart. We fight hard, but we fight only when necessary. Our goal is to survive and teach, not to destroy without reason." Over the next days, the delegation observed human tactics in live simulations. Humans demonstrated combined operations. Engineers sabotaging enemy systems while pilots intercepted targets. Soldiers setting ambushes using terrain that seemed ordinary at first glance. Each human team worked as one, yet each member acted independently, improvising as the situation changed. Jiriak took notes frantically. "Ambassador, this is unlike anything in the galaxy. They are not just soldiers. They are inventors, planners, and thinkers all at once." Thaler nodded grimly. "And this is why it is a law. We cannot approach them without inviting disaster." The highlight of the observation came with a human demonstration called the Maze. On a large, uninhabited planet, humans constructed an elaborate battlefield filled with traps, obstacles, and hidden defenses. Alien observers were allowed to enter the simulation as invaders, expecting a typical engagement. They were wrong. Within minutes, the alien forces were confused. Every path they chose led to obstacles they could not anticipate. Drones appeared from unexpected angles while human soldiers moved silently, using terrain to their advantage. Communications were intercepted, false orders sent, and alien units trapped in clever diversions. Thaler could hardly believe his eyes. The humans were everywhere yet nowhere. They struck precisely, then disappeared. They were fearless, audacious, and brilliant. "This is madness," muttered Jiriak. "Madness and genius combined." After the exercise, Captain Hale gathered her team. "The aliens have seen what we can do. But remember, this is not to boast. We do this to prepare, to adapt, to survive. Strategy, courage, and ingenuity, these are our weapons. The galaxy fears us not because we are cruel, but because we are unpredictable. Thaler, observing, finally understood the truth of the legends. Humans were not merely warriors. They were a force shaped by countless challenges, boundless curiosity, and the courage to face anything. Every human carried the potential for brilliance in thought and daring in action. You do not fight as others do, he said quietly. You do not follow their rules. You invent your own. That is why the galaxy respects and fears you. Hale nodded. It is why we survive. And it is why it is a law. Do not approach humans without caution. Do not underestimate them. That is all the warning you need. As the delegation prepared to leave Corrales Prime, Thalor filed a full report for the Intergalactic Council. He wrote carefully, humans are not merely fighters. They are a civilization capable of brilliance in war and in peace. Their strategies defy prediction. Their courage defies limits, and their ingenuity surpasses our understanding. All civilizations must respect the law. Do not approach humans. The report included details of simulations, demonstrations, and human behavior. It was a detailed warning to the galaxy, one that would shape interstellar policy for centuries. Back on Corrales Prime, humans continued their routines. Engineers repaired drones, pilots ran simulations, and soldiers trained with precision and creativity. To them, these were ordinary tasks. To the galaxy, they were terrifying. Captain Hale observed her people quietly. They will never understand us fully, she said to her first officer. And that is exactly how it should be. We do not need to be feared. We need only to exist, ready for any challenge. Aaron Voss smiled. They will respect the law. They will never approach without thinking twice, Hale nodded. Good. Let them think twice. Humans do not seek war, but if war comes, we will be ready. Months later, across the galaxy, the story of the rogue fleet became legend. Alien fleets hesitated. Intelligence reports warned leaders, and the law of avoidance became universally known. Humans were a force no civilization dared to provoke. Thalor, now back on the Varric Sentinel, reflected on his experience. Humans were bold, reckless at times, and utterly unpredictable. But they were also brilliant, resourceful, and extraordinarily disciplined when it mattered. They combined creativity with courage, strategy with daring, and intelligence with instinct. They are not gods, Thalor said softly. They are human, and that is enough to make them unstoppable. He watched the stars, knowing that humans would continue to explore, to create, and to defend themselves when necessary. They were a civilization defined by courage, intellect, and audacity. A civilization that turned ordinary acts into extraordinary achievements. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Humans were masters of war, masters of strategy, and masters of survival. And the law was simple: do not approach them. Do not test them. Respect them, or face consequences that no other civilization could survive. And on Corrales Prime, humans carried on with life as usual. Children played, engineers built, and soldiers trained. To them, these were ordinary tasks. To the galaxy, these were the actions of a civilization unlike any other, a civilization that had earned the title of crazy masters of war. Humans were ready for anything. Always ready, always vigilant, always unpredictable, and the stars themselves seemed to recognize it, giving humans the respect and caution that every being in the galaxy had learned to provide. The fleet hovered at the edge of the Galactic Council's central sector. Before them stretched the heart of the Council's empire, a massive planet-sized station ringed with thousands of ships. Its walls glimmered with energy shields, and the stars around it seemed to bend under the gravity of its size. Admiral Kalen stood on the bridge of the Resurgence, his eyes scanning the endless expanse of Council defenses. Beside him, Lieutenant Mira and other leaders studied the maps and data feeds, planning every movement. The humans had come too far to be turned back now. This is it, Kalen said, voice steady. All our preparation comes down to this moment. Every life we lost, every battle we fought led to this. Humanity will remind the galaxy who we are. The Council had expected them to be extinct. They had believed humans could never recover. That arrogance was humanity's greatest advantage. The first step was infiltration. The fleet split into specialized squads. Decoy ships would draw the attention of Council patrols, while stealth vessels carrying the best soldiers and engineers moved silently toward the station. Lieutenant Mira led one of these squads. Her ship, Vigilant, slipped past shields and sensors, moving like a shadow in space. "Remember," she said to her team, "we fight with brains, not just weapons. Every move counts." The humans had spent thousands of years studying Council technology. They knew the weaknesses of shields, the blind spots in sensors, and the timing of patrol rotations. Using this knowledge, they bypassed defenses without being detected. Each squad boarded sections of the station silently, disabling weapons and cutting communications. Even as the Council scrambled, human drones hacked into central systems, feeding false signals to confuse and mislead their enemies. The Council's arrogance had blinded them. They believed humans could only fight head-on. They were about to learn that humans could strike with intelligence and patience. Inside the station, humans moved carefully through corridors filled with advanced technology and towering consoles. Alien guards were fast, but humans were faster, their evolved reflexes giving them an edge. Each step was precise, each action calculated. In the central control room, Kalen's squad planted devices to disable the station's energy shield. The Council's secret weapon, the one capable of destroying star systems, was being monitored here. "Every second counted. We cannot let them fire it," Kalen said. "Not now, not ever. Earth may be gone, but the galaxy does not need more death. Our victory will be precise, not reckless." Meanwhile, the decoy fleet drew away much of the Council's forces. Large battles erupted outside the station, brilliant flashes of energy lighting the darkness of space. Human ships dodged, feinted, and lured enemy vessels into traps. Not a single human ship was lost, a testament to centuries of planning and evolved strategy. From orbit, Lyran, the alien ally, marveled at the human tactics. "They are not just fighting," he said to his crew. "They are teaching the Council a lesson. Every strike is purposeful, every maneuver intelligent. These humans are remarkable." Inside the station, humans confronted the Council's leader personally. The chamber was immense, glowing with the energy of countless systems. The leader, a tall, imposing figure, looked down at them with a mixture of surprise and contempt. "You dare enter my station?" he said, voice echoing. "Humans, you were meant to be extinct. You should not exist." Kalen stepped forward, voice calm but firm. "We exist because we are strong, because we endure, and because we learn. You destroyed our home thinking fear would control us. You were wrong. Humanity will not be erased. Not now, not ever." The Council leader raised his hand, signaling his guards. But humans were ready. Their enhanced reflexes, superior tactics, and advanced technology made them unstoppable in close quarters. Guards were neutralized with precision, and the leader realized that brute force alone could not win this battle. Human engineers reached the core system controlling the secret weapon. With careful coordination, they disabled it, rendering the Council's most feared device powerless. The leader's expression shifted from arrogance to shock. Kalen addressed the Council leader. "Your weapons do not define us. Our strength comes from intelligence, resilience, and unity. Humanity does not destroy recklessly. We fight to survive and to protect what is just." The leader faltered, realizing that the humans were no longer the species he had once feared as weak. They were evolved, strategic, and honorable. Outside, the human fleet had begun reclaiming space previously under Council control. They liberated planets where aliens had been enslaved or oppressed. These freed civilizations joined the fight, swelling the human ranks with allies who shared knowledge of the Council's weaknesses. As battles raged across the sector, humans demonstrated a unique combination of strength and honor. Civilian lives were protected, and destruction was only targeted at Council military assets. The galaxy watched in awe as humans turned the tide not through sheer power alone, but through strategy, intelligence, and moral courage. The final confrontation came when Kalen faced the Council leader directly. The massive station trembled as nearby ships clashed. Energy beams cut through space, illuminating the dark void like stars exploding. Kalen's voice carried through the comms. "It is over. Your tyranny ends now. Surrender and no more worlds will fall. Refuse and humanity will act. But know this, we do not seek senseless war. We seek justice." For the first time, the Council leader hesitated. The humans' actions had shown strength he had not anticipated. Their unity, intelligence, and moral courage had turned the battle in ways he could not predict. Finally, he nodded, signaling surrender. The Council's forces stood down, and human ships moved in to secure the station. Humanity had won, not through recklessness, not through mindless revenge, but through superior strategy, bravery, and honor. The galaxy began to change. Freed planets joined a new alliance led by humans. Determined to prevent tyranny and oppression, humans established a symbolic sector as their new home, honoring the memory of Earth. Kalen stood on the bridge of the resurgence, looking out at the stars. "We have returned," he said quietly. "Not as the humans they once feared, not as the humans they tried to destroy, but as humans who endure, who fight, and who never give up." Lieutenant Mira joined him, gazing at the glowing planets below. "We've shown them who we are, and this is only the beginning." Kalen nodded. "Yes, this is only the beginning. Humanity will protect the galaxy not for conquest but for justice, and Earth will never be forgotten." In orbit above their new home, humans erected a monument, a holographic reminder of the planet that had been destroyed and the resilience of its people. Stars reflected in its surface, a silent promise to the galaxy. Humanity would rise. Again and again, no matter the challenges, the galaxy, once ruled by fear, now looked upon humans with respect, caution, and awe. Humans had returned not as victims, but as the guardians of hope, intelligence, and honor. And somewhere deep in the hearts of every human, Earth lived on, not as ashes but as a symbol of strength, courage, and the unyielding spirit of a species that refused to die.